going on, boys? It's your boy Max, back again with another video. Today's video is going to be about getting on the grind and focusing on yourself is one of the most anti-seductive things that you can do. Like, a lot of dating coaches will try to tell you, oh, just focus on yourself, bro. But that literally will repel women away from you. And this is coming firsthand from someone who works a full-time career and runs a business full-time. Hits the gym, does everything I have to do. I'm locked in right now, right? I'm the most locked in right now that I've been in my entire life. And as a result, I still have attraction from women, but it's not as much as I did when I didn't have as much going on. And I'll tell you why. See, I used to do the monk mode stuff. I used to, isolate myself for 6 months on end, just be locked in, focusing on the grind. With my old business, when I was running a clothing brand, I would just work on that, stay up all night, making designs, and that's all I was focused on. But as a result, I was not taking care of my looks. I started skipping the gym. I stopped taking care of my hygiene, right? And I literally looked like a caveman. Like, not in a good way either. Like, I'm a pop-up picture. I looked like a caveman. I was stressed. I had anxiety. I was escaping with vices. And I was out of shape. And I lost all social skills that I had with women. I lost all the charisma that I had. I turned into like this NPC, basically. Even though I was grinding, I was focused. I had a purpose. But I lost everything that really made me an attractive man, right? Now, here's exactly why being on your grind is actually not seductive, right? And it's simply because of the fact that when you're on your grind, chances are you're not spending the weekends going out. All those parties that everyone's at, you're not at them, right? You're not at the parties, you're not at the events, right? Your friends call you out. Nah, bro, I can't do it. I gotta work on this business. Or nah, bro, I can't do it. I gotta hit the gym today. Or nah, bro, I can't do it. I gotta work some overtime. That's most likely what you're doing if you're really on the grind. If you're really locked in like you say you are. If you're locked in, you're saying no to majority of things that come up. Birthdays, weddings, events, parties, all of these things. Reunions. Nah, bro, I can't make it. Because you have a purpose that's greater. Now, this is a very important. Every man needs a purpose, right? You must have a purpose. But what you need to understand is that when you're in this moment of just being super locked in, you're not going to attract a lot of women. Because you may think like it sounds good on the outside, right? It sounds good like, oh, I'm this disciplined, ambitious man. I got big dreams. I got big goals. I'm working every single day, providing. I'm going to be a great provider. I'm going to be this rich guy, which all of that may be true. But women don't see it right now. They don't see it right now, right? They may see, oh yeah, you're grinding, but that's not what they want right now. Women are very in the moment type of people, right? They care about what's going on in the moment. What's the newest party right now, right? What's the most poppin' trend right now? And they hop on it. That's why they always say that women wait at the finish line. Because once you've already made it, well then you have some time to, maybe kick back, maybe go on more trips, maybe enjoy yourself a little more. But when you're starting up, when you're building that foundation, you have to stay locked in. You know that you have to sacrifice weekends. You know that you have to sacrifice the 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5 to work on that business, to work on that side hustle. And so if you're sacrificing all this time, then you basically throw away your social life. And that's what actually repels women. Because if you guys ever spoke to a woman and she wants to know like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Or like, oh, what are your New Year plans? Like, I was at work the other day and shorty at my work asked me, oh, so what are your plans for New Year's? And me, I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I literally have no plans for New Year's. Like, I made a YouTube video on New Year's, right? I was working with my clients on New Year's. And so I was like, no, not much, just with family. And I just saw like the look on her face when I said that. Because, guys, women, they want you to have like this extravagant lifestyle. They want to have a fear of missing out, right? They love that feeling, right? They love and hate it, right? They want you to have something going on that they can be a part of. You're staying in, working on your business, they can't really be a part of that. But oh, you're at this event, you're probably meeting other women, you're having a social life. That makes you more interesting, obviously, right? And so when I look back at all of the times when I had the most attraction from women, it's always been at times where, I would work hard Monday through Friday, but then Saturday, Sunday, I would go out, right? I would go to, like, if my boys would call me out, I would go to events, right? And then, a shorty would ask me, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What did you do last weekend? How was your weekend? And I would actually have something to say. But when you're on your grind, a girl asks you, oh, how was your weekend? It's, yeah, so, I stayed at my laptop for 10 hours. I wrote down, I made some videos, I worked with clients. Like, it's important, but it's not sexy. That's what you gotta understand. It's not sexy, it's not seductive, right? But they don't understand that, obviously. That's why I say they wait at the finish line, right? While you're building that foundation, they're gonna be messing with two different types of guys. They're gonna be messing with a guy who was like the old version of me, who would work hard Monday through Friday, but then party on the weekends, have some social life going on. They're gonna mess with that guy, right? Because he actually has an active lifestyle, right? He has an active social life. Or they're gonna mess with the guy who already made it and now he has some time to really kick back and really, live this extravagant lifestyle, go out to different trips, go to high value events, things like that, right? Those are the two guys that women are messing with while you're building that foundation. Just understand that. Just understand that. Now, what should you do? Should you just say, fuck it, I'm not gonna talk to women, I'm not gonna date women, these, right, these women ain't shit? Should you just say that and just like focus on your grind? Well, you can do that. But the problem with that is that now you're going monk mode. Now, it may take you a year, 2 years, fuck it, 5 years to really get your business set up to where you want it to be. Set up to a point where you can take a back seat a little bit. You don't have to be all the way in the business. You have people running the operation for you. It may take some time to get there. And by that time, if all you've been doing is staying inside and working on the business, grinding, doing whatever you have to do, your social skills are going to take a hit. I'm telling you right now, I've experienced this firsthand, right? I've experienced this firsthand. Your social skills will take a hit. You're going to forget how to even speak to women. You're going to forget how to, all charisma. Like, guys, we're logical beings, especially when you're working in business. There is no charisma. Like, you're logical, straight to the point. Obviously, you have to use a little bit of charm, a little bit of charisma if you're doing sales, but that's about it, right? You're very logical, very forward thinking, right? You have a type A personality. But if you've been doing that for the past 5 years, you can't. That's not the language women appreciate. You can't just be so straight to the point like that, right? There's a time and place to be direct, of course, but you have to add some spice to it. You have to add a little bit of, charisma to it, right? That's why they call it Riz, right? Charisma. You have to have some charisma behind it. And if you're just focused on your business 24/7, you're gonna lose it. I'm telling you right now. So, what should you actually do? I would not recommend going monk mode. Like I just said, it's gonna do a lot of damage to you, especially if you're not really taking care of yourself and working on making yourself more magnetic, right? Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying that the last 4 months of 2025, I went monk mode. And the fact that I just didn't date. Like, I didn't date for the last 4 months of 2025. I said, listen, this is the last quarter and I want to take my business to the next level. So I sacrificed that. I didn't go on any dates in the last 4 months. But what I did do, and I made sure I did this time because I learned my lesson, was that I still talked to women, right? I still updated the dating apps. I still had conversations with women. I still approached women, right? I still got their numbers. I basically built up all of my leads, right? To where now I'm back in the scene, I'm back in the dating scene. Now I have all of these leads that I can reach back to if I want to, right? So I took that time. I didn't waste my weekends, going on dates, spending money on dates. I just focused on my business. And that last quarter was my most successful quarter in business in 2025. But I didn't completely neglect women either. I didn't completely neglect women either. I still talked to them and I still maintained a bit of a social life, right? I still went out with my friends time to time, went out to eat, right? Got workouts in with them. And so I maintained, if anything, I increased my social skills during that time. That's the way you want to do it. So listen up. Now, if you're a guy who you're just completely at rock bottom, like you're in the worst shape of your life, you're not making any money, you're just like in a horrible position right now, then you can go monk mode, right? You can maybe hold off on the dating, right? Just focus on improving yourself. Yeah. Improve yourself to a point where you're at least like average level. You're at least a 5 overall, right? Once you get to about a 5, that's when you really want to start incorporating your social skills, going out and speaking to women. Even if you have no intent, even if you know you can't afford to take them out, even if you know that you don't have time to take them out, right? Because you're working overtime or you're working on your side hustle, still talk to them, still even attempt to set up a date to see if you can do it, to improve your date setting skills, essentially. That's what you want to do, right? Now, if you're a guy who you're already on the sexual market value scale, you're already like a 7, an 8, right? Maybe not an 8. Like, I mean, if you are an 8, good for you. But if you're above a 5, right? If you're above a 5 on the SMV scale, this means looks, money, status, game. This is what you want to do, right? It's okay to take a few months, like I did, going monk mode. But ideally, if you want to optimize your dating life and not sacrifice your results in business, in your career, while you're grinding, while you're focused, while you're working on your physique, while you're working on your business and everything else that you got to do, this is what you want to do. Listen, you still go, you still hustle, you still grind, okay? But I want you to choose one day out of the week. If you don't want to do one day, just choose a few hours out of one day out of the week where you're either gonna see some of your boys, right? You're gonna meet up with them, or you're gonna go out on a date, right? One or two of them, okay? You're not gonna be texting women back and forth throughout the week and wasting your time doing that. You're not gonna be swiping through the apps. No swiping, right? No going out just to do cold approach. No, you're gonna build a system where the women come to you. This means that number one, your dating app photos need to be on lock, right? You need to have great photos. If you don't have great photos, you can forget about the dating apps, okay? You need great photos. Photos of you with your physique, photos of you at high value venues, photos of you dressed up, photos of you with sex appeal. These are the different types, right? I have dating app guides on my page. If you want to check those out, check them out, right? Even better if you have an attractive Instagram profile as well with attractive photos, attractive stories, attractive highlights, showcasing your lifestyle. I have an Instagram guide and an Instagram stories guide that you guys can check out for how to do that, right? If you're a guy who's above a 5 on the SMV scale, you should be able to do this already, right? You already have the looks, you already have the money, you already have a little bit of status. You should be able to set up a nice, attractive online presence. The online presence is going to literally get you leads, aka the woman, coming through on autopilot, right? Every single day I wake up to at least like 5 to 10 matches overnight, right? Across all the apps, right? Over 30 matches every single week on the apps. That's 30 girls. 30 girls that I match with minimum every single week. Okay, over 100 matches a month. Those are all leads that I can choose to go out with, right? And mind you, you're only going to be going out with about 4 girls or 4 dates a month, right? Because you're only going to choose one day out of the week, 4 weeks in a month, okay? So choose wisely, okay? Once you have the online presence, you have the attractive dating app profile, you have the attractive Instagram, you're going to want to set up your prompts and your bio to bait the woman into messaging you first. This is going to basically disqualify all the women who are low interest, because women that message you first are typically medium to high interest. These are the only women you want to deal with right now, right? You're a guy, you're grinding, you have no time to waste on low interest women. You must focus on the ones that really want to see you. And these are going to be the women that message you first, okay? You want to have them reaching out to you first. I have a video on how to do that as well. Then, as far as the Instagram, you want to post attractive stories that bait the woman into DMing you first on Instagram. Okay, I have a video on that as well. It's called the Attractive IG Stories Guide, something like that, right? But now, you have high interest, attractive women hitting you up first on Instagram and on the apps. Now, all you have to do, once you have the profile set up, literally all you have to do is set up the date, right? Text them properly. You're not going to text them back and forth 24/7. You're just going to text them properly. Use a little bit of charm, a little bit of wit, and be direct. Set up the date. If they're not trying to meet in person, if they're not going through with your program, they can kick rocks, okay? You're focused on the grind. It doesn't matter if they're not following your program because you're focused on the grind. That's the best part about it. When you're focused on the grind, nothing that these women do to you will matter. It won't hurt because you're already married. You're married to the game. You're married to your purpose. That's the beauty in it. You're married to your purpose. I like that. But you set up the date, right? And then let's say you set up with 5 different girls a week, right? Because you have all these inbound leads. You get to choose which ones do I really want to go out with. What I would recommend is book at least 3 of them on the same day. So let's say you chose Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. You're willing to go out. Or let's say from 6 to 11 o'clock, right? 11 p.m. on Saturday. You're willing to socialize. That's your socializing time. You're going to book 3 girls on that Saturday. Okay, now you may be wondering, Max, how am I going to see 3 girls on one day? You're not, right? You're not. You're going to book them, and then the most attractive, most high interest one, that's the one you're going to go out with. Okay, because there's always a chance, even if they're attracted to you, there's always a chance that they're going to flake, something can come up, life happens. This way, you always have backups. Guys, these women have backups, and you should too. You're a high value man, right? You're working towards being a greater man. You're working towards being the elite man, like I like to call it, right? And so the elite man needs to have options. He needs to have backups. If you're below a 5 and your social skills are trash, then sure, dedicate some time to doing cold approaches specifically. Like take some time out to do some cold approaches, work on your social skills. Great. But if you're above a 5, you already have decent social skills. You don't need to do that. You just need to make sure you maintain it, because if you don't use it, you lose it. That's just a fact. If you don't use your social skills, if you don't use your charisma, if you don't use your game with women, you will lose it. I don't care how good of a player you are. I don't care how charismatic you are. I don't care how attractive you are. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So that's the best way. If you choose to go out with your friends on those socializing days, hey, invite them to do activities you're already doing. Going to the gym, going to whatever you like to do, invite your friends to do that with you. And invite these girls to do it too, right? And ideally, you want to be going to places that are already going to have other women there. So now you're already deep down, like you're confident, you're fulfilled, because you know that every single ounce of effort you're spending on your purpose. Okay? You're already in the gym, which all of you guys should be doing. Make sure you don't skip the gym. Okay? You're already in the gym. You're working on your purpose. You take care of your looks, which you should be doing as well. Do not neglect your looks, or you can forget about dating. You're already doing all of this. You're fulfilled as a man, right? You're fulfilled. You're not needy. You have your purpose. You're on your grind. You're not needy. This is going to be that magnetic aura that makes women attracted to you in person. And don't be surprised when they come up to you, when they want to know your name, when they want to know what you do, when they want to talk to you, right? Because you look like an interesting guy, right? You have a vibe to you, right? You have a vibe to you. Don't be surprised. This is the game. This is the elite man game. This is the same strategies that I teach all of my clients, that I've done for myself, and that I'm about to go all in with in 2026 for myself too, right? No more of the monk mode for me. I'm at a good place with my business, and now it's all about that, finding that good sweet spot. I don't like to call it work-life balance, because I don't really believe in balance, but I think that there should be 90% locked in and then 10% play, right? You still want to make sure you have some play time to make sure you're satisfied in that area. Because what's the point of working so hard on your business, on your purpose, on your career, on your gym, right? Your physical fitness, if like you're still gonna have all that masculine energy, right? You're gonna have all that masculine energy, all that testosterone, especially if you're eating clean, right? Where are you gonna put it, right? Are you gonna beat off? That's what a lot of these guys do. That's why there's so many successful guys who are just complete incels and they just addicted to porn, right? I'm sure that's not what you want to do. And I was at that point at one point in my life, and it sucks, right? That kills your charisma even more. That kills your whole magnetism about you. That corn addiction will kill it. I'm telling you right now. You're gonna start looking at these women as objects, right? You're gonna lose all self-respect for yourself, and that's gonna affect your business as well. So I'm sure that's not what you want. That's why you gotta find some time to still make a woman a part of your life. Not your whole life, but a part of it. Okay? But this all starts with building that presence, building, excuse me, building that identity and turning yourself into the man that these women even want to go out with in the first place. Okay? So if you want a step-by-step system, you want me holding you accountable the same way I do for all my clients, help you get into the best shape of your life, optimize your online presence so you have leads, aka women, coming through on autopilot every single day, every single week, so that you get to literally pick and choose who you want to go out with and not waste any time with low interest women. And you know how to actually display this attractive personality in person when you're with them. You know what to do. You know how to conduct yourself. You know how to run the game. If you want my help with this, helping you every step of the way, creating systems for you and holding you accountable, click that link in the description to book a one-on-one call with me. This is just a qualification call. See if you're a good fit for my coaching program. I don't take on just anybody. If you're at rock bottom, this may not be the right program for you. You need to start off with other things you need to really lock in. But for the guy who's ready to take things to the next level and he knows that he has that potential within him, this may be the right fit for you. Click that link. It's a free call. We're just gonna get to know a little bit about who you are, what my program does, and we're gonna see if it makes sense for us to work together. You can also click the link and visit my Instagram. I post daily value on there, daily stories, daily reels, right? Always giving out free value on the Instagram. And you get to learn a little bit more about my story and who I am in general, right? Also, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram. Let me know a little bit about your situation, and I'll see if I can help you. But if you like this video, make sure to drop that like, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you boys in the next one. Stay dangerous.